Climate change is real.
South of Glasgow, 3 centimetres of rain.
To get even worse. The first attack,
as it began to establish itself in northern Syria.
The blast occurred near 2 of the stadium entrances.
We are
fighting for women's rights.
We are anonymous.
Welcome to our movement.
There's that whole Banksy thing of being a bit anti-establishment, but to do really political work is a different thing.
If you're making images about that sort of thing, you've got to find a way to make something very clear, I think, so, and not to an art audience, but to everybody.
It is powerful if you use the right art, right place.
Yes, they are my victims or politician with the and this fellow Nick Clegg and him, my very first political painting, King and his clown. Yes. What else I can do?
It's a way to get out my own frustrations and feelings. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think that's what art can be. You know, creating, and I think that's more. I think art becomes more and more important in the world because the world's gone it's so corporate now, and the public space is so corporate that the expression of people's ideas through art is really crucial, I think.
I've always been very insecure as an artist. Didn't think I could draw, didn't think I could paint. Always loved making stuff, but never had the confidence to say, yeah, I'm an artist. Losing yourself in colour, losing yourself in design, losing yourself in image just helps me cope. And then at the same time, at least you're kind of also expressing yourself, which is really important, just to say it, to have a voice.
And she turned to me. This is very sexist. What the bloody sexist is it? Or I portrayed him as a circus trainer. This one. See that me? And I was holding the picture. The journalist asked me, can I hold up?
Well, that's called photo op. That's Tony Blair taking a selfie with. It was originally with a group of young cadets. It was a New Labour PR picture, and yeah. So this is where I spend my days trying to think up ideas and things.
Hello, you. I don't really want you on my table. Upstairs in my attic, an entire room with just filing cabinets of old transfers. Like, this is a great one. Look, this is a really old Coke one. These are all about Palestine, comparing the Holocaust to Palestine. So people can kind of see. Not informed about how, you know, all kind of human rights have been fought for, so it's easy to forget. And I think especially now, because we are losing them all, we're about to lose the human rights, we're about to lose all these kind of fundamental things that protect us.
when one gets older, you want to say something about what's going on around you. I am pretty useless. Communicate with the words or writing. So I try to do with the paintings. What I think, what I'm agree with, what I disagree with. People don't like to be patronized. To get people's attention, to convey your message to the people, you have to understand people like art if make them smile. And after that smile comes the story, people think what's it all about.
Listen, you know, upstairs in my hallway I have a bra made out of 2 pigs' heads. Because I used to I won awards for it and everything, and I was like, if ever was a time to get my pig's tits out, it's now. That's not even that offensive. What's really offensive is also, whether that's true or not, and I don't know if it is that to become part of that group, they have to burn a £50 note in front of a poor person. Now that's really horrible. That's fucked up. I mean, why on earth would you want someone to run the country who thinks it's a good joke to burn £50 in front of them? You know what I mean? This one's gonna say, "Come riot with me," and then behind it's gonna be all revolutionary women, all the ones from Mexico and suffragettes and stuff. But that's what I'm saying about it being like kind of sexy, you know, nice, and then when you get up close, it'll have all the kind of background.
Can we believe what the Prime Minister says?
I mean, people say, well, what's the point of what you do? You know, often you could say that, you know? But you can't measure the results, you know, but it's to do with raising consciousness and raising criticality in people. So that, because I don't think my stuff's propaganda. It's not telling people what to do. It's not saying go and join this. It's actually just trying to open up the subject so that people can actually understand what is going on beneath the smoothness of the news.
And put on a board like you're throwing a stone to the pond, make waves to get some answers. Okay, all I did is just ask a question.
If you're making images about those that sort of thing, you've got to find a way to make something very clear, I think. So, and not to an art audience, but to everybody.
Well, we've been in some publication, been on Twitter, been in Facebook, and people keep retweeting, and if you want to fight or save something, you have to understand what it is.
In 2000, I was working as a community artist. Picked up a copy of The Big Issue. In the back of The Big Issue, they had an advert for human rights. It's a humane organisation that befriended people on death row. And so I just put my name forward. They randomly gave me a name, and it was Luis Ramez. And then, but as soon as I got the first letter from Lewis, I was like, it's the humanity that jumps out and hits you in the face, because all of those preconceived ideas about it goes out the window and you realise that you're just corresponding with another human being. You know, in the 5 years that I wrote to Lewis, I was absolutely convinced that he was innocent. I think that all kind of radicalised me. After my friend was executed, I kind of realised that it was all rubbish. It had nothing to do with anything other than money.
But he's so lucky because of him.
I actually joined the Labour Party first time around to vote for Jeremy Corbyn. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's an expression of the of some sort of hope for something different, you know, because he's actually talking to people.
I can't fight. I'm not violent, against all violence. I know I'd be useless on that, in that way, and I don't want to. I don't believe in it.
And I think he got in because of young people joining and getting involved. And I think that, you know, through going around doing talks at colleges and things, I think young people are trying now to think of ways to actually comment on the world in their work, because it's hit them so badly, you know, with the student fees and trying to live somewhere.
There's that whole Banksy thing of being a bit anti-establishment or making, you know, but to do really political work, you know, is a different thing. I remember Peter Kennard telling me once, don't expect to sell it.
Yeah.
Because not many people want that on their wall.
And obviously, if something hits you, you know, on your everyday life, it's going to make you think about what the fuck is going on, you know. So, you know, I think that things can change. Things can change very quickly politically, and we don't know. You know, maybe Jeremy Corbyn will get through and win an election. It'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? And I've had emails from people who said, you know, I saw your work 30 years ago and went and joined Amnesty or something like that, you know, which is great. So it's just made, you know, it's part of activism. Don't think art changes the world in itself, but it can be part of all these movements that are trying to make things different, you know, make things better.
It is powerful if you use the right art, right place.
Let's share it from the GM.